Hello everyone, it's been a little bit since I last recorded, by which I mean like maybe a day, during which I worked on some stuff. I went into R&D and I did get fuel systems, and it's not like it's a bad choice because we'll still need it, but looking into it, I mean, I kinda don't really need the skipper yet, at the very least. I definitely want to keep going down this path eventually, but probably not yet. Because, I mean, I'll show you what my heavy rocket looks like. Before I get to the previous rocket, I'm gonna be using the same one I did last time. I'm gonna be using the Moonman Mark II. Mark II. I think it was Mark 1 last time, and I did some very slight updates. But what I made is the Moon Lord, and if you look at the thumbnail... Yeah. Listen, it technically works. It's stupid, it's ugly, it's very heavy, and it is basically by no means more effective than the Moon Man. It is actually way heavier, and because it's heavier, harder to control. This thing sucks. I have no idea what I've done here, but it just does not work. But for what we need to do today, like I said, we don't need all that. What we need is the Moonman Mark II, which I have added a heat shield to because, I mean, in hindsight, that's a very obvious thing. The heat shield that protects the Science Junior from exploding on re-entry, and I have tested it out, and multiple times over, it has worked. It has not exploded on re-entry. And I've also added... And I don't know if these do anything, I don't know if they help. I added these things, the radiator panels, right? And I couldn't really figure out from looking up online and seeing Reddit threads and stuff whether or not these things are even doing anything on re-entry. But one thing I tell you for sure, those ones are actually blocking the EVA hatch, which I don't want to do because that's that gets rid of a lot of research options for like doing EVA, and also I figured out that you can like take data from take data from the thermometer and the barometer, and then you load the data into this thing, and you can take new data from them, and then you can go back with 2 readings essentially, which is neat. But I think oh my god, I think what I need to do is, if I am sticking with these things, oh god, I need to stick them on. I think that should be okay, right? As long as we go in facing butt first at the start, we should be fine. So that is the Moonman Mark II, and that is what we'll be using. And I actually have some kind of understanding of how to do these things at this point. Like I said, I did like 2 successful passes of the moon off camera. So that's completely fine, and I mean, just for a start, you just do this, of course, you just launch up. I also realized that actually speeding up to like 10,000 times speed is completely fine. It just sort of unregisters, in a way, your like trajectory with certain items. Like, it doesn't fully load those trajectories in during the speed up time, which makes sense because it's like calculating a lot of stuff and probably doesn't want to mess with that, but it doesn't like break physics in the way that's breaking, like, speeding up to ×4 in the atmosphere would break physics. Because I guarantee you, if I sped up to ×4 right now, the rocket would just explode, because that's what it does. Get out of the atmosphere entirely, and do a little bit of a burn. I messed it up, I double tapped space. Double speed is a-okay in the atmosphere, as far as I am aware, at least. It's probably messing everything up, but can I see that again? Bloop. Why? Why is that a thing? Okay, it doesn't even look like it changed our apoapsis at all. No, it did. It slightly lowered it. Oh, I love this game. Okay, tap space once, and X is the thing I tap next. Okay. Big old trajectory that intersects with Minmus, although as you can see, Minmus is slightly at an angle compared to the moon. We are also slightly at an angle compared to everything. I don't know. Oh, yeah, Walter, what could have messed up the trajectory as you went up? I guess it will always have to stay a mystery, huh? Yeah, like that. Oh, and you saw that's... Is that the Minmus periapsis or the moon? It is a Minmus, not periapsis, but encounter. Excellent. With a very... Okay, make sure we're doing a maneuver. With a very close periapsis? No, with a okay periapsis. That's fine. That is precisely what we want. Yeah, I was hoping for the bigger engines to function a little bit better, but in that this process could be a little bit quicker. It would require a shorter burn time, but for my test it didn't. But it probably would work better if we got up higher, which we might if I got rid of those boosters and just relied on the power of the rockets themselves. The big ones. That's my thinking, but like, I don't know, man. Life's gotten so much easier since I learned these buttons exist. I've been using, of course, retrograde burns to do landings and everything, and it's like, wow. And that has sent us on a trajectory which would, well, I mean, would give us a trajectory around the sun. Not quite my tempo. What is this? What am I doing with that? What kind of burn is that? I'm just gonna cancel that maneuver and try somewhere else because I don't know what I just did there. Well, there we go. So a 1 second burn is all it would take for us to pass right underneath Minmus like this. And like, look, there's Minmusing all around the gap here. So like, if I do a little bit of a burn in this direction too much, oh, we're fine. If I do a bit too much here, oh, we're still kind of going there. So down the middle, there you go. I hope my explanation of why I'm doing that burn makes sense. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That do it? Looks like it's very slightly off, because it's not showing me intersecting with Minmus, which doesn't make sense to me, because like it looks like it's roughly where it needs to be. But let's try. Easy way to test is we go here, wherever, doesn't matter, add maneuver. No, we are not, because it would show up in this mode if it glitched out and didn't show the other. So I need to do a little bit of an adjustment in some direction. Again, gives us a safe trajectory, because also it puts us a Kerbal periapsis of 350 kilometers, which is cool. Minmus periapsis of 878 kilometers, also fine. Would give us plenty of science, I'm sure of it. Well, I mean, let's just try it again. Much shorter burn this time, 0.3 seconds. It's hard to, I don't know, it's hard for me to time that out correctly. Maybe I'm just damaged, like Jared Leto in Suicide Squad, or like Jared Leto in real life. Do you know he leads like a cult? Like an actual straight up cult? Which is wild, because I'm just like, who would follow Jared goddamn Leto into a cult? He sucks. God damn it, it overshot it again! I mean, this time I registered it overshot it, but like... Yeah, we are close enough to its path. I just need to adjust its, what I'm about to say doesn't make sense in space, but horizontally. Like 2 hours of time near Minmus. Again, only if we manage this 0.1 second burn. I guess what I need to be doing is doing just taps, because it doesn't really matter if I do it exactly at the node, right? It doesn't really... That part doesn't really matter that much. The part that matters is how much burn I do. So I guess I need to do just the tiniest taps. Even if it's like 1 second, tap, 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 instead of burn, 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 burn. And then I have it go in this direction. As you can see, we need a... Oh, wait, what am I doing? I don't need to full speed it. That's how you do it! Oh my god, that wakes... That's just... What is going on? It's freaking the hell out, but... Oh god, I flubbed it. I don't know why I just held for so long. But I'd rather not have it freaking the hell out. But that's another thing that now makes complete sense. Why would I full force burn when doing a small adjustment? Like here it's very nanosecondy, but maybe if I move it up? Maybe if I move down? If I move like this? Not like that? 0.2 second burn, 9.7 meters per second change in 3 minutes. Yeah, there you go. 0.4 seconds, burn right there, 37 seconds away. It's gonna be beautiful. And again, it says 0.4 seconds. It's not a 0.4 second burn at all. It's gonna be more than that at a much lower speed. Just chill. Fingers on the X key, not the Z key, the X key. Okay. Okay, it works. It worked. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna... another thing I know how to do now. I can do quick saves while in space. Which I should do, because I did, during one of those off-camera runs, I did, crash into the moon. Because it showed me, like, yeah, you're gonna change your trajectory, and it'll be like, oh, you'll go right up to the moon, and then you'll go, woo, and then you'll go back into an orbit. And I was like, that doesn't seem right. I don't see a periapsis on that. But who am I to argue with the game's trajectory projections? Should have argued with them a little bit more, actually. But is this accurate? Because... is Minmus really going to be there by the time we get to it? No? Minmus is over there, buddy. So we need to do a full lap around the planet. Because that says... at year 1 day 89. And that says Minmus... that's T-minus 26 days. So that's the path that it's gonna take me after I do another loop around our thing here, which is fine, but like it's like a little bit of a prank. It'd be amazing if I was doing this and then I just like crashed into the satellite I threw into orbit there. Okay, there we go. Now this, as you can see, it's going to be the right path because it's like 9 days away. Yes. There's nothing that can go wrong here. And you can see, there it is. Look at how tiny Minmus is, actually. Look at that. If I zoom in to our position, look at how small it is. It's so baby. I don't think we're close enough to it yet. No, we're not. This is where the encounter happens. 1000 times speed. And there we go. That's the encounter. Changed trajectory, so now we are being influenced by it. And we are a ways away from it, though. Yeah, high over Minmus. The high radiation environment caused a few of the samples to glow. It looks like it would be fun to paint the rocket with this. Alright. Thermometer. I mean, the readings are basically the same, but conceptually we're doing something cool here. Goose still feels right at home. Do a crew report. Looking at the surface of Minmus reminds you of a favorite childhood dessert. You've attempted to taste the surface. Yeah. I'm gonna once again do a little bit of a quick save. I'm gonna close the service bay doors, which were open this entire time. That's amazing. And do an Eva. I saved because I feel like I'd rather not have him crash in, well, not even crash, just float off into space. If I press spacebar right now, this is where Jeb is. So what's the apoapsis would be still massive, so let's do this, and you can see that the periapsis and apoapsis flip as I make the thing on the other side way smaller. Periapsis at 73k, 72k, that's great, because then on that side I can do another retrograde burn, which will take the other apoapsis, yes, which will then make that the periapsis, actually. A little bit more. More. There you go. 71,000. 29-second burn. Otherwise remains the same. And we just chill with it. Just a couple of chill guys. Me and Jeb. We chillin'. And yeah, at this point I am okay with doing the full burn. Because, this is gonna sound fantastic considering how many times I actually have messed this maneuver up. But it's not that difficult and does not require that much precision compared to doing some orbital stuff. So, nearly 30 seconds of full burn in retrograde, which is what the maneuver is. That weirdness was the moon thing that we don't care about. That's good enough. Periapsis at 80,000 meters. Still plenty of fuel left. At the 80,000 meter periapsis, what we do is we add a maneuver, which is going to be another retrograde burn. By the way, you don't really need to do this maneuver stuff. You can just go to the periapsis and do a retrograde burn, and that's going to be what you need to do. But I like doing it like this. And what I aim for, what I've seen suggested aiming for is, yeah, just below 50k. And then what I do is I set us to stay on retrograde. And I also dump you, and then we flip onto retrograde. Because what that means is that we're going to be going this direction, and Jeb is going to be making sure that our butt is facing that direction. Please actually, yeah, let's try and hold on to that. Yeah, that's the thing though, yeah, once you get to those high speed ups, then he doesn't do that, but he should stick to it even if we do like 4 times speed now. It'll actually take a little bit though, because I mean, it's gonna be a bit until we get to the point where the atmosphere actually starts affecting us and slowing us down. Because the periapsis is way over here. Although, as you can see, because the periapsis is dropping, the point, like, where we would have dropped is, like, already, like, over here-ish. Like, the target we made, set for ourselves, rather. By now, the periapsis is in the ground, as you can see. And it is growing closer. It certainly is, because we are slowing down. And as we go further into the atmosphere, the slowdown should increase. But because the heat shield is over here, the heat shield is basically protecting this entire side of the craft from all the burning that's going on over on this side of the craft. That's at least the plan, the idea behind it. And so long as this speed drops enough to the point where the burn isn't going to be as severe, before we get to this point in the atmosphere, everything is hunky-dory. And that should happen so long as we see this number go, like, below 2,000 for that point, which you can see with how quickly it's going, that, like, that's a guarantee, essentially. There we go. Successful, mission observing Minmus. Let's see how much science we have. I think we're definitely passing, like, 300 science at this point. Moonman, recover. 100. Oh my god, I did not even register how much we got. Oh, wow. Yeah, the goo. The pressure scan gave us 30. Wow. Should be going for space exploration, landing, propulsion systems, right? And, I mean, that has to be the next thing. The next thing has to be the moon. Like, properly, going to the moon. Man. Yeah. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Kerbal's space program, where, I want to land on the moon, and I think this thing is more or less capable of doing it. It's the Moon Boy Mark 1, and off-screen I was toying around quite a bit with, the Moon Lord. You know how we started with Mark 1? The latest version of Moon Lord, is... I'm gonna save this real quick just to be sure. The latest version of, the Moon Lord was Mark 16, and it looked like this, and it's... extremely dysfunctional, and I don't know what I'm doing with it. But the Moon Boy, despite being one less than man, technically, is pretty good. I mean, this thing just kind of got to the moon, and is capable of landing on it if I don't mess up the maneuvers. I've learned a couple of things while I was off recording, though. One thing I'm going to do immediately is actually, I think, currently it has a 3 stages with 5 rockets on the first 2 stages. Well, I mean, not 5 rockets on this. This 5 times 4, 24 rockets, actually. So that was 16. This is a bit much, perhaps. But I think it's worth a shot, at least. Because, yeah, the four rockets, like, it went very well. It really got pretty much where it had to go. Oh, God. But I think maybe just a little bit more is what you need. If this doesn't work, I'll just go back to the drawing board. This is the Mark II. It does have landing struts. It's fully capable of landing on the moon. Genuinely. It's just user error at that point. But there are a couple of things I have learned. One thing you'll notice pretty quickly is going to be... What's this unloading? Without crashing. It's going to be something over here once I have a maneuver set, but that's going to be in a bit. I'm going to make sure that all of this is set correctly. So yeah, those decouple and then the main rockets go. That decouples and then that rocket goes, which means that this needs to be on the same stage, and then everything else is fine. SAS is on, Jeb is ready, we launch. Okay, so far so good in that it's picking up speed. Yeah, it's picking up speed faster than the 4 level version. Although, whoop, no, actually I'm going to revert to flight real quick, okay, because I remembered the biggest problem with the moon landing that I had in my test runs. And that, my good sirs, lies up here, right where the nose cones are. I'm going to add... Where are you? Advanced inline stabilizers. Boy, we needed those. Hopefully they don't all charge out our device immediately, but I don't know. It looks fine to me. I'm using swivel engines on the second thing, by the way, because I saw that they were better in a vacuum, which is where we're going to be doing all our stuff. At this point, I'm going to start inching in this direction for a slight gravity turn. Just a slight, just the slightest bit of barely being able to control this thing. And there we go. Out of fuel on the boosters. Get out of the boosters' way as they drop to the planet and probably bomb our space station. Might have already spotted what's going on down there. So, ooh, actually, yeah, this looks good. I'm gonna make sure that we have a maneuver that actually hits the moon, because we can get one of those. Yes, we can get one of those very easily. Not even hits the moon, but just gets near it, so that we have a periapsis. 200,000's great. Look at this little thing. So if you go into the options, or settings rather, and you scroll all the way down here, there's a bunch of stuff here that's useful. I don't know what ghosted navigation markers are, or advanced tweakables, but extended burn indicators will show you something that I learned from someone on my Discord and someone in my comment section on one of the shorts, I believe, which is... Oh no, on the latest video, I'm pretty sure, which is, you don't actually start your burn at your maneuver. You start your burn halfway to your maneuver, and it ends on the other side halfway after when the maneuver is, like, set here. So, halfway towards the apoapsis, and it ends halfway after the place where you would have had your apoapsis. It's wild. Which is why I had, like, moments of, how the heck is that right? That's not the maneuver, that's not where the maneuver should have taken me. Because technically, I started maneuver, like, a minute late most of the time. So, that was going on. Set it to 100 because we're doing a full burn. And then 3, 2, 1, we begin the burn. And you'll notice that unlike every other time I've done this trajectory is going to look a lot more like the trajectory we're aiming for. So the plan is, we finish this burn up. I don't know why it starts showing this. Maybe I'm supposed to pause and then resume the burn. But from the previous test, it doesn't super matter, as long as we have the trajectory set in a way which I intentionally usually do, which is like slight room for error, where we will still be passing by the moon with a periapsis or crashing into the moon or whatever, so long as we are close to the burn on either side, close to the trajectory on either side, rather. But we are going to try and get to the periapsis, get an orbit going, well, do we even need an orbit? I don't think we really need an orbit around the moon, necessarily, because it doesn't even have a atmosphere, obviously. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna straight up burn retrograde at the periapsis now. I guess I guess in the end, like, this inclusion of extra rockets isn't changing anything, huh? Because the other thing was that, yeah, in my test run, I did land on the moon, fell over, but I also felt like I didn't have enough fuel left to launch anymore. Although it should be easier to launch because we just need to bloop and go like that. Doesn't need to be any precise at all, so long as we get into a Kerbal orbit with a low periapsis, I think. And now let's watch as in less than 10 seconds we will have our moon encounter show up on the thing here, which is when I'm going to cut the engines. We're just slightly off. Okay, so let's say that's okay, and then do the lightest of light retrograde burns. Still, I kind of feel like we don't need to adjust at all. Because hear me out. We're certainly not going to be matching the moon's velocity all the way through, so it's going to be an uneven orbit when compared to the moon. And we're going to spend a decent amount up here, because this is our slowest point. So even though we're not going to catch it on this orbit around the planet, maybe not the next one or the next one, eventually we should be able to just line up in a way where we're going to end up intersecting with the moon. So let's just save our fuel, set it to 10,000 times speed, and then just look at that. So that's in when? In 1 day and 3... Yeah, there you go. It actually only took one orbit around the planet for us to have that moon interaction. Excellent. Now, one thing I see is that this is a crash. It is a crash into the moon. You can tell because it doesn't have a periapsis, and it also shows that we're bounce off the moon and then we have an escape. That's not how it works. The moon is not made of trampolines. It is made of cheese, and cheese is a lot more solid than that. So, as long as we are burning retrograde at this point to slow ourselves down, I think we're going to be alright. Because we're going to be at our slowest once we reach this point anyway. Again, if we were doing this on, I don't know, Eve, which I know is like the toughest, one of the tougher planets to land on despite being this close, because it has an atmosphere. Like a really thick one, like way more serious than Kerbal. We would need to get into an orbit, because then we would need to do a burn through the atmosphere and then land. We don't need to do that with the moon. I think we are gonna be okay. Make sure we are on this setting, because this can be very deceptive once you get close to the moon. I think we're gonna be okay. I think we have enough fuel for a good retrograde burn. Whoa! That was... Ooh. Like, if I said, oh, add a maneuver... Oh, I double-clicked on the moon and then just zoomed in on it. That's 13 minutes from now that we would be getting near the moon there. I've discovered so much about the controls of this game. So many little intricate details. Oh, shit, I just clicked on the moon and don't know how to click off the moon. Oh no. Preemptively, because I have a suspicion I would forget, let's get the landing gear out. One thing I will say is that... Oh, I did a weird little snowflake thingy instead of straight out, but alright. This should be more stable because there's more rockets on the bottom and more legs on the bottom as a result. If we, like, fall over, I think that's a sign that maybe we should even get more legs, like... Right now it's 6, but like 12 legs would be even more stable, and then that sort of thing. I mean, these are like the basic landers as well. They're LT1 landing struts, so they're the most basic kind you can get. Still, that should be fine. So long as we don't land on like the edge of a crater, I would reckon. Okay, we're getting close. We're at 100,000 meters. We're 100 kilometers above the surface of the moon. The crash is in like 2 minutes, so let's start by lowering our speed already a little bit. Whoa. Well, we don't really need to do that, do we? Because I did see that technically the best way to do this is to have a perfectly timed one blast burn at the very bottom, like, so that you calculate exactly when to do the burn, when it would hit 0, and then when you hit 0 is the point at which you should be landing. That's very difficult to do, though. What we need to kind of do, though, is make sure that the retrograde burn we see here is going precisely up into the... Like, you need to retrograde burn until this retrograde burn symbol lines up with exactly with the center here. Still, it don't have to burn just yet, but it will be soon. Like, in fact, I think right now we need to start burning, try and get to that point. So full burn, full burn, full burn. Can't tell if it's even changing trajectory. So right now this would... I can't even click on it, so it's real close. It's real close. It's just a matter of turning the lights on, come on. Yeah, this is gonna be a tough landing because it's the dark side of the moon, but I have my faith in Jebediah. I think if we reach, like, basically 0 speed... Yeah, you can see that we are more or less right at... Whoa, 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 whoa. There we go. Make sure we are still on retrograde. Yeah, look at that. More or less perfect. And now we just wait until we are lower to keep doing our burns. And I think so long as we land, I think we will have enough fuel to get back. I think. It'll be tricky. I think it might be tricky. But I kind of suspect we'll be okay. If we're not, I mean, well, it's not the biggest investment of time I've done here. So let's speed up a little bit again. Ooh, this should be a perfect landing, though, because look at that. It's perfectly at the top. Like, our descent is a perfect vertical fall. Whoa, 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 whoa! Okay. So once we hit about, like, 1,000 meters is when we're gonna do our next burn to lower our speed even more, and then do gentler burns to try and make a nice little descent. So 1,000 meters, slow ourselves down, slow ourselves down, slow ourselves down, let ourselves fall a little more. And then we start to lower our speeds even more. There we go. Okay, this looks like it's gonna go perfectly. Oh my god. Please don't fall. Please don't fall. Jebediah. Jebediah, stabilize us. Oh my goodness. Jeb? I think we are on a side of a crater, which is why we're wobbling. So I'm gonna be very quick as I can be. Crew report. Yes, I cannot afford to let Jeb out into EVA, by the way, because if I do, then he is going to not be able to do stabilizing anymore. He can't do SAS while he's in EVA. Come on, get me into my log pressure data. Yes. Observe mystery goo. Yes. Temperature. Yes. Science Junior. Where's the Science Junior? Come on. Conduct material study. Yes. How's the battery doing? Slowly draining. I think this is our best bet. We need to launch, like... I suspect that if we don't launch, our battery will drain. Because my thinking was, like, look, we're landed, like, right here. The perfect place, then, to do a launch back to Kerbal would be at this point, roughly. Because then it's just a straight launch from that point on the moon. Like, we would want, ideally, to be facing a point on the moon that is facing the planet in order to try and get back. But I don't think that's gonna happen. I think what we need to do is just launch. Oh, hold on. I've messed this up, and I'm glad I noticed that I messed it up. So these decouple, and then the engine has to go. Yes. Because otherwise I was going to just decouple and perish. So we need to full burn, get us away from the planet. I don't know if we'll make it off the planet with just this fuel, but if we do, that'll be great. Not quite. Not quite. So we detach. Right. Detach. Or are we not detaching? There we go. And then cut the engines, please. So what we want to do is the apoapsis, add a maneuver. Ooh, I know exactly what I need to do. I need to do an orbit, get an orbit around the moon. Don't need a lot of burn at all. It doesn't have an atmosphere, so it doesn't matter if our orbit is super low either. Oh, dude. This is gonna be perfect. And then we just sort of need to find a good point where the moon or orbit and everything, it all lines up in a way where we can have the best option of getting to Kerbal. I think this is it. I think we just had a successful moon mission. Wild. So we need to start a burn in 18 minutes, 19 minutes basically, so let's just speed through time and space real quick. Now technically I can do a thing here, which is I'm going to save the game just in case. I know it's probably gonna be fine, but when we are at this periapsis, I can do an EVA report. Absolutely. Jeb will be stoked about it. And speed it to 1. In 10 seconds time, we will be doing this burn for 10 seconds. Let's keep an eye on this thing here. And burn. And good. I gotta believe that this is enough fuel. I gotta believe in that, alright? What is this orbit? In an orbit around Kerbal. So we need to escape the moon's orbit. Which is this. It's a way further away, though. So how do we fix that? So that's... Oh, that tightened it a little bit. So that... There's only a 6-second burn. And puts us here. Okay. Getting somewhere. We have plenty of time to plan this all out, because we need to start to burn in an hour and 13 minutes. So I don't think I'm going to be here an hour and 13 minutes figuring this out. But I could be. I genuinely could be. 3.5 million, but it is only a 6-second burn. That's the benefit. Can we adjust it very slightly further to make it somehow a little smaller? So increasing the prograde burn. No, I guess this is the best. I actually did lower the apoapsis as well, so that's okay. Oh. Okay. I think this is the best we can do here. Again, it's a 6-second burn with only this much delta V that needs to be applied, so that's not bad. I don't think that's bad at all. So our next step is, like I said, at the periapsis I will want to do an EVA mission. I think close enough at this point that I'm going to set it to 1 speed. I'm going to close the map. I'm going to save the game. We are going to then have Jeb EVA give me an EVA report. Cool. And then you just board right back in. Alright. Turn on SAS, set to maneuver, and then we get to the maneuver. Whoa, 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 whoa. Calm down, pal. I don't really know how this orbit works, by the way. How this moon escape leads us to this path. But if the game says that's what's gonna happen, I'm gonna believe the game that that's what's gonna happen. Tab. It says tab. Oh, oh. Hello, Minmus. Hello, Duna. I would like to cycle on my ship. There it is. I got a tour of the goddamn solar system while we're at it, but okay. And... oh god, it worked! Okay. Oh, that didn't take any fuel at all. I think we're gonna be fine. 100,000. 7 seconds. Good. Because then we'll add a second maneuver at the periapsis to lower our apoapsis, and then that's the whole shebang we'll be doing there. But our maneuver, yes, is in 3 days, so for a start, let's see how we escape the moon's orbit. Is that the moon? It is the moon. Wow. Where's the Earth? No, that's the moon. That's Kerbal. That confused me. Yeah, I guess we do end up on this track. Wait, it says it's our... Oh, right, our path is going that way. Got it. No, it's not. Is it? Why do you say this maneuver needs to be in 3 days, though? Can't we do it, like, now? Not as good, actually. So, you know what? Fair enough. Fair enough. Let's wait. Let's wait 3 days. I hope Jeb brought snacks. As always, I hope he brought some snacks. Yeah, this is way more efficient. Okay. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Burning? Burning, 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 burning. A little bit of a light burn here. Just right where we need to be. There we go. A periapsis is now 138 kilometers. So at 138 kilometers, we then go to the periapsis. Yeah, we have a ton of fuel. Ton of it. Add a maneuver. And shrink our apoapsis. And it takes... Okay, I'm not gonna count my chickens before they hatch, but like... We're close to having done a successful moon landing. We didn't do much on the moon, except a bit of research, because... yeah. Maybe if we had more crew members on board, once we get the better crew stuff, we can do a bit more. Because right now, you can't really leave a thing on space when if it says on the moon when it's a very slight angle, because it'll fall once no one's doing SAS anymore. So that's the big problem. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, burning. Okay. Yeah, alright, we're doing alright. Fuel should be okay. Okay, the fuel's gonna be cutting it close. But to me, what that says is... We're gonna have done a moon mission with precisely enough fuel to do a moon mission with. So, if you want to talk about fuel efficiency, I mean, come on. So here we are. Then once we get to the periapsis here, we have another maneuver to drop ourselves down on the other side. Which will again not take much. And I feel like 70k is like good, isn't it? Because it's gonna be just enough to start doing a descent. Isn't it? We'll see. It's a 1 second burn, so it's not like a big deal. You spin around the planet. Basically, what you know that you're in good once you start seeing the apoapsis and periapsis start to lower on its own. That means you're doing stuff right. And the slower it does it, the safer you are. Is how I understand physics and all of that jazz. You like jazz? I like jazz. I don't like jazz, actually. That was a lie. I lied to you. I'm not going to do a full burn because that's ludicrous, but we are going to do a small little burn here. And we are good. And then let's see what happens if this functions the way it should function. If we start to see the periapsis, apoapsis, like these two start going down once we reach that side of the planet, that means we're set. We just need to put our heat shields forward, which I hope... No, I definitely did, because I accidentally clicked on it earlier. Yeah, there it is. Put our... dispose of this part of the rocket and put our heat shields forward, and it's going to be awesome. So let's get to our periapsis now. And let's see, are we going to be dropping? Are we close enough to start slightly dropping? Probably not, now that I look at it. No. That's okay, just add another maneuver here. That does a very slight burn here. Puts us at just under 60k. Burn very soon. Point to the maneuver real quick. And we do that little burn here. Until we are... like that. Oh my god! I slightly overburned. Uh-oh. Ruh-roh, Raggy. Pro-grade burn, please. Increase that periapsis back up. That's basically fine, we just need to increase periapsis back up. There you go. Safe as a clam. That's not a saying. But I said it anyway. Maybe even very slightly higher. There you go. See? Perfectly fine. Perfectly cromulent. And again, let's speed ourselves up until we reach the point where I see the periapsis and apoapsis starting to descend. Oh, there we go. I don't even need to do that because the game tells us that it's happening. So now, we've done everything correctly. Just decouple. Face retrograde. So that our heat shields are over here. Oh my gosh. And then we just speed up. Okay, now we're really starting to... Oh, I like this thing, just still going. Oh my god, it's gonna go faster than us, huh? Well, probably because it's very crashing. Alright, fair enough. Okay, oh, there you go. Starting to tick down. Should be fine, our heat shields should hold. Please. Please hold. Heat shield. Please hold. Okay. This is it. I don't know what's burning. Doesn't look like it's burning very much, though. So it's fine. Right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna set it to 1 speed, though, at this point. Because I don't want physics to break, and I also don't want SAS to break. I want him to keep us on retrograde. We're landing on this continent to the west of our planet. Oh, actually, we're right over the crater here, from whatever the heck is going on over there. Sadly, we do not see it, because it's pitch black. Great movie. You know, that's the prequel to the Chronicles of Riddick. My favorite Vin Diesel movie. It actually generally might be, now I think about it. No. Actually, I like Pitch Black more than I like Chronicles of Riddick, come to think of it. Oh, hey. We won. We succeeded. The moon mission was a success. We're about to land. Oh. Can even deploy the parachutes right now. If we wanted to. I'm gonna double it. Double speed. Holy. Well, we did it. Chat. We went to the moon and we came back. We landed on the moon and we came back. I have a very big, goofy smile on my face right now. I love this game. Oh my god. I'm just gonna deploy the parachutes, just I want to be safe and descend slowly. And then just 4 times speed. Okay. Wow. We even brought back the Science Junior this time successfully. Well, don't say that. It might still wobble down and crash and explode. That's literally how this game works sometimes, but... There we go. Should be fine. I don't remember what a Science Junior speed is, but the heat shield should be able to handle something under 10 meters per second. Jeb, you actually went to the moon. Do. Can slow ourselves down to that speed, and then... Yes! Yes! And everything's still recording. Yes! Tracking station. Oh, I almost clicked revert flight. Imagine that. Tracking station. Moonboy Mark II. Recover. We earned 294 science. Crew report 20, Eva report 24, mystery goo 40, temperature scan 32, atmospheric pressure scan 48, material study, nice. And we can farm the moon. We can do this mission over and over again because the moon has all kinds of biomes. Because look, it says the moon's highlands, and because we landed on like the specific part of a specific crater. We did it. We did it. Yes. Oh my god, remember episode 1 where I was crashing things into the dirt? What is... Oh, that's plain boy debris. Right, I actually mentioned that that's still plain boy debris. There's still on that island over there. Not this building. I don't need this building right now. I need to go to the research center. How long have I been recording for? An hour. Yeah, that tracks. About an hour to land on the moon. Yeah, I mean, in game it took like, what? Several weeks, probably. So what do we definitely want to research? Like I said, we want command modules. Because we want to be able to have three Kerbals on the vessel. So I think I'm gonna definitely get that. Advanced exploration. EVA fuel cylinders... Probably want this as well. Definitely want to get electric so we can start messing around with the satellites. There you go. Advanced landing. There's a lot we want actually. Propulsion system so we could have the little rockets would be nice, although slightly better heat shield, specialized controls. Okay, definitely gonna start with this. We need to be able to have someone explore the moon while someone's still stabilizing the vehicle. We're definitely gonna want electrics, because I'm gonna put solar panels onto the... well, pretty much anything I build from this point on. Like, we need that. Solar panels, but like, I don't know. I don't know about that yet. Then we also gonna want... I think I am gonna go... Let's see, we can only research one more of these big things. You know what? I'll leave that for next time. For now, thank you so much for watching. Went to the fucking moon.